Hi, good evening, all of you guys. Hope all of you can hear me. Yeah, guys, can anyone please confirm, guys? Is I'm audible? Can anyone? Hello. Yeah, guys. Yeah, thanks for the confirmation, guys. Yeah, yes, guys. So just before just starting the session, hope all of you have people. There are some around 9 participants or 8 participants. Yeah. So is all is did all of you have been attended the studies class? Or just let me know if anybody has been joined for the today's class, guys. Anyone is there, guys, who has been joined for the today's class? Just you can use the chat panel and just you can type first session or something like that, so that I'll come to know who has been joined for the today's class. Is anyone is there actually, guys, who has been joined for the today's class? Please let me know so that I can start my discussion actually, guys. I think Shweta, you joined yesterday. Ravikant, I think you have been joined. Yeah, maybe one first session. Okay, Anchal, right? Yeah, I think one participants. Okay, fine. Guys, that is nothing is there. Just what is my main point here is, yesterday I have done a small discussion. That means it is currently we have started with a small introductory part of machine learning. So we didn't started with anything with the main topics. We have been not started with any implementation also. Just we are in the beginning, just like a demo sessions we are currently discussing actually, guys. So the people who has been missed the yesterday's class, don't worry about them, because we have not yet started with any actual applications. And if we have missed the yesterday's class also, you will be getting a recorded video of the last session. You are also going to get the recorded video from my backend team. You will be getting a recorded session. So you can just go through them. Just what I just quickly review what I have been got discussed in the yesterday's class. Like a slightly introductory part actually, guys, like when the machine learning started. So why the machine learning was started in early 1950s only, it was started actually. But up to now, it was not unable to implement successfully. We don't have any success stories of machine learning from the last only some 7-8 years back only. It has been started doing well actually. So why? What has been? So from when it started in 1950s, why it has been taken that much time? So it is I told you about that. Some discussion like it is going to be the computing power. In 1950s, we know that how the computing power of our machines are going to be there. That are very slow compared with some not even 50 years 70 years back actually, guys. 20 years back itself we don't have that much computing power. So computing power has been started increasing. That means once it has been became very powerful from the recent maybe some hardly it is going to be 1.5 decade back only it has been started. As I told you, as I remembered in 2001 or 2003 when I brought my first computer, so it used to be coming with a 20 GB hard disk. Now a mobile is coming with a minimum of 32 GB hard disk. Our RAM size is going to be 128 MB, 256 MB. Now the mobiles itself is coming. So you know that currently whatever the mobiles we are using, there are very better than the computers which was there behind almost all some around 1.5 to 2 decades of 15-20 years back. Whatever the computers are there, they are less performance than the current whatever the mobiles we are going to be using. So computing power has been exponentially, it has been got increased. So that is the one of the main reason this particular machine learning and data science came into the reality. Otherwise, still it is to be in the lab only. In the lab they started, but it didn't came into the reality actually. From the last 1.5 year, 1.5 decades of time only, this has been came into the reality actually. It is mainly due to the computing power of the machines. Cloud computing has been brought a lot of changes actually, guys. Whatever the technology we are enjoying today, or whatever that particular applications which you are enjoying today, is going to be all about that particular cloud computing only. Even AI and all these things has been came into the existence only due to the cloud AI. It's a completely to the cloud architectures. Otherwise it is in research or still it is in lab. We are unable to still enjoy this particular whatever we are enjoying, the technology we are enjoying now is completely one of the main reason behind that is going to be to the cloud computing only. It has connected all the devices actually, I guess. All devices ever able to be gets connected through the cloud computing only. Okay. So yesterday we have been started with our basically our basic idea, which is going to be what is our course basically. As I told you, it is going to be a full stack data science course actually. It's what we are going to call it as a full stack data science actually. A full stack data science. So as part of the full stack data science, mainly we are going to learn mainly three core concepts we are going to learn. But we are not going to directly go into the core concepts. Starting from the beginning, the roadmap, the complete roadmap, starting from the beginning, we are going to be learning. As I told you, mainly we are going to learn machine learning, we are going to learn the deep learning, and we are going to be learning the artificial intelligence, AI, what we are going to be, mainly the three core concepts of data science actually. So if I talk about that, so it is going to be a data science, it is going to be AI. AI is going to contain something called as an ML, and ML is going to contain something what we are going to call it as DL. That is actually the hierarchical actually. So DL is a part of ML, ML is a part of AI. So whatever we are learning as of now, for example, you are learning ML, yes, you are learning as one of the part of the AI course only we are going to learn. We call all these techniques are going to be as a data science, but inside the data science, we are going to be having all these core areas actually, AI, ML, and DL actually. So anyhow, what is DL, what is AI? It will take a little bit time to understand because it is going to be a very higher level. It is going to be very higher level. So that's why we have been started with. Even DL is also part of an ML. I don't think that you have to first start with the DL, then only you will learn ML, then only will learn AI. It's not that kind of an hierarchical actually. So the DL is going to be one part of the ML actually. ML is going to be one part of the AI actually. It is going to be one part of the AI actually. So we are learning one of the basic part of that particular AI is going to be nothing but your machine learning actually. Later you will understand what is DL, what is AI, and all these things. We'll understand it later. For the timing, I started with introductory part of machine learning. So what I exactly told you about machine learning. Machine learning is a very simple process to understand. It is going to be nothing but we have a data with us. You give the data to the machine. Machine understands the data actually. Machine understands the data. Whatever it understood, whatever it understands, everything is going to be given in a format of which is going to be some kind of an insights. And based on that particular insights, we are going to do some kind of a prediction actually. Basically, machine learning is all about, your data science is going to be all about a predictive analysis actually. Simple understanding in our human life, in our human as a human, how we are going to be learning. It is everything we are going to learn from the past, from our experience we are going to learn. So whenever we want to take a decision, so how we are going to take a decision based on the past that has been got happened actually. Same as it is, you tell the machine what has been happened in the past in the format of data. Simply if I give the text, machines can't study about that. So this is the data, this is what happened. This is the data, what this has been happened. Or let us say that on the day one, for example, on the day one, for simple example, it is going to be, the temperature is going to be cool and the humidity is going to be high and something like there is a wind is there. On the day there was a rain was there, something like this. On day two, the temperature is going to be cool, hot, and the humidity is going to be normal, and there is going to be no wind is there. Wind is going to be false. On the day there is no rain is there. Like that, everything should be given in a data format. There is some model is there. There is some structure is there, a statistical structure or something like a machine learning models are going to be there actually. So there is going to be a kind of a structure which we discuss it later. So once if you tell what has been happened, so on that, just an example actually, like that, I tell some day tens. So totally 10 days data, what happened, I'll tell. What is the temperature, what is going to be the humidity, and what is going to be whether there is a wind is there or not. And what has been happened. So what has been happened, whether it was rain or whether it was no rain actually. Now, once if you give all this data to the machine, machine studies the data. On what conditions there was a rain, on which conditions there was no rain. So it will study the data. Now on the day 11, for example, if you ask the machine, so today the temperature is going to be cool, the humidity is going to be normal, and there is going to be a wind is there. So can you tell me whether today it will rain or not? The machine will tell you whether, the machine means your computer is going to tells you whether today it will rain or whether it is does not rains actually. Hope you understood. Hope you understood the data actually. I hope you understood the things actually. We are not writing any if and else if conditions. If temperature is cool, then it is a rain. If temperature is equals to hot, there is no rain. We don't write any conditions. automatically from what is happening, it's a dynamic actually, guys. It is going to be nothing but a real time. It is going to be a real time analysis actually. We'll call it as a real time analytics actually, what they call it as. That means as the data changing, automatically the decisions also will change us actually. A real time analytics part actually. So at that instant of time, it studies the data and it is going to get some kind of an analytics from the data actually. So that is the way. So it is not only this one. Yesterday I told you one example, like in a banking customers. So in a loans department, so who could be the defaulters, who could be the non-defaulters? Study the past customers data. Study the past customers data. Like there we have to study the age. What is going to be his salary? Already having any existing loans or not? Is there an existing credits are there? Okay, whether he was staying in a rented house or not, something like this. And tell me what is the status actually. Tell me the past customers data, their age, their salaries, and their number of existing credits, whether he was staying in an own house or rented house. What is the status? Let us say that he was a non-defaulter. That means he paid all his EMIs promptly. Like that, whatever the data is going to be there, you give the data. These are all my past customers data. Now a new customer arrived. So it is going to be age 32, salary 50K, number of existing credits is 3. Let us say that he was staying in a rented house. So the machine will help you to find out whether he would be a defaulter or will not be a defaulter. Simple application, guys. Understanding the past, predicting the future. That's it. That is what the simple machine learning says that. But further, why this machine is going to be, why this machine learning is going to be having this much demand actually, guys? Because the data is going to be not small in size actually. In real applications, your data is going to be not this much simple actually. We are going to be having so many factors that has to be gets considered. So the machine is going to take care about that. So all of the things I am going to take care. You just guide me. Just you guide me how to learn. I am going to learn from the data. So machine learning means we are not learning anything from the machine. From the past experience or whatever the data I have been given, machine is going to learn the data. Machine learns from the data actually. That's why we are going to call it as a machine learning. Machine learns from the data. If you want, I can just show you one small practical example and how that particular insights are going to be there, what it has been learned. All these things is available as an insights format. Based on some insights. Insight is nothing but whatever the knowledge we got, whatever we understood from the data, or what are the rules we identified from that particular data. All these are going to be insights. Based on the insights, we can do some kind of a prediction actually. Nowadays, almost all in any real life, in our real life also, guys, daily we are going to be working a lot of things actually. A lot of things we are going to be gets working with them. It's a kind of a complete an AI based systems, like even our ACs are coming with an AI based technologies. Simple understanding, our Siri or whatever the mobiles we are using. So whenever I type a word, what could be the next word? Prediction. It's an AI based machine, AI based application actually. So what is the AI application in ACs? So nowadays your air conditioners are coming with an AI. So what is going to do is they will collect your information actually. They'll collect the information actually. So every day, for example, let us say that the person is going to be preferring to just run that AC at a very cool temperature. So let us say that he is waiting at every day at some around 18 degrees centigrade. He is going to do that. But when I start the AC, it is going to be starting at somewhere around 22 degrees centigrades. But every day you're changing it to 18 degrees centigrades. After a couple of days, your AC machine is going to start directly with the 18 degrees centigrades, because it is understanding the behavior, how we are using. It's an AI based system. So it is going to learn. So how we are using the AC machine, automatically based on that, it is going to do that. So every day, let us say that at 8 p.m. I'm just making my machine to my AC to be on. So automatically after a couple of days, automatically 8 a.m., maybe the AC will automatically on by itself only. So it will, you need not to instruct anything to the machine. So how we are using the machine, based on that, the AC itself is going to take in decision day by day. It improves a particular. It automatically, that means according to your behavior, automatically the machine itself is going to take the decisions by itself. It's an artificial intelligence actually, guys. So these are the mainly some of the, you can talk about so many examples actually. Almost all AI was already entered into a real life actually, guys. So we'll study that particular stories in the coming in future. How could be? in future, how could be all this, what kind of technologies will come, and how our real life, how our life is going to be there after a 2 decades of time. So already we are having a lot of things like driverless cars are coming. They're AI based systems. So they don't require any driver. So nobody requires, everybody need not to learn the driving actually. Just buy a driverless car, an AI based car, and directly just sit there, just navigate them. The car itself is going to drive by itself. It's an AI success stories of AI actually, guys. One of the biggest success of AI is going to be nothing but your driverless cars. It's going to be driverless cars is going to be, and one of a game called as an AlphaGo. It is going to be a game called as an AlphaGo is one of the biggest success stories of this particular, the AI application actually. If you want, just you can check it out. Some articles based on this. So what is going to be AlphaGo? It is going to be a game actually. So already machine chess is over actually, guys. It's a long back. So chess already there is going to be what we can say that it is going to be the chess games. So already supercomputers has been already developed actually. So already we have a lot of supercomputers. So just a minute once, it is AlphaGo actually. It is going to be AlphaGo. AlphaGo is going to be one of the basically it's a game actually. It's a one of the game. So there are so many supercomputers has been came actually. It's going to be a lot of things are going to be there actually. So AlphaGo games are going to be there. So we have developed a supercomputer. So which has been it has been won over the leaders in that particular game actually. So this is going to be the AlphaGo is going to be one of the game actually. So these are some of the success. So many success stories are there. Like for example, you may have seen, like for example, when you go to some kind of an shopping malls or shopping mall somewhere. So the employees previously they used to swipe their cards. They used to get their ID cards and they used to swipe the cards. So in coming future, it is going to be face recognition actually. So there is a camera will be installed there. Just the person has to stand behind that. Automatically, the attendance is going to be taken by the machine only. It will identify automatically. Previously, you know them. It is going to be some kind of an we used to use the ID cards. In the place of ID cards, now we have been got the thumb impressions actually. Like we are going to be just pressing we are going to be scanning of my, which is going to be the thumb impressions actually. Now, no contact. No need to swipe your card or no need to, which is going to be give a thumb impression actually. Simply, it is going to be just stand before that. Automatically, your gates will open. You can enter them. No need of any ID cards. No need of anything like anything. It is completely contactless itself. So in coming future, within 5-6 years of time, all companies will implement this one only. Already the companies are already started in supermarkets. Also, we are able to see them actually. Everything is recognition by using this kind of machines only. Everything is done. These are some of the success stories of machine learning. If I talk about them, there are so many success stories are there. There are so many use cases are going to be there. Okay. So let us come to the discussion actually, guys. Like data was given to the machine. Data was given to the machine. Machine learns the data. Machine understands the data or machine learns from the data. It will understand whatever that insights are there. Based on that, the insights it is doing the prediction. So if everything is done by the machine, then what is my work actually? Why the companies will pay a lot of money or it is going to be paying at this much salaries for this particular AI and the ML engineers actually? Why? Because machines can learn, but the machines has to be guided from our side actually. Whatever the inputs they require or whatever the things that are going to be required, all of them should be provided by ourselves actually. As a machine learning expert or a deep learning expert or a deep learning engineer or a AI engineer, we are going to provide all that particular environment to the machine actually. So today I'm going to talk about some of the technical aspects which are involved in the machine learning actually. So as a simple to say that machine is going to take the data. Machine takes the data, but who is going to give the data actually? From where the data will be taken actually? Machine does not know from where the data has to be taken actually. So the first thing actually, so what is data science basically? First of all, when I talk about the data science is all about, it is not all about not learning a programming language. We are going to learn so many different types of techniques. It is all about understanding some different types of techniques. Or we can say that it is going to be some kind of a methodology. Some methodologies we are going to learn. A lot of mathematical statistical techniques, a lot of mathematical and statistical methodologies. And there are going to be different types of processing systems we are going to use. Or we are going to be using a different types of algorithms we are going to be using. So if you go and if you check what is data science in the Google, it says that it is all about a studying of a different techniques, methodologies, processing, algorithms, systems. Finally, the main target is to get the insights from the data actually, whether it may be a structured format or whether it may be an unstructured format. So just go online and ask what is data science. We'll get a definition of data science actually. Simply you say, what is data science actually? You will get the same definition. It is all about learning about some processing techniques. You can see it is a one of the field of study. It is also part of a computer science engineering only. You can see that data science is an interdisciplinary field that uses a various scientific methods, processes, algorithms, and systems to extract some knowledge and insights from a noisy, structured and unstructured data and apply that knowledge and actionable insights from data across a broad range of application domains. That is mainly we can say the study about. It is going to be all about studying about the different systems, methodologies, process, techniques we are going to learn. As I told you, here we don't have any importance for a programming language. We don't have any importance for a programming language. It is all about learning about a different technologies. Not technologies, a different types of techniques what we are going to be learning actually here now. Actually, there is one small problem with this. It is getting some hanging up. Okay, no issue. Whatever I'm typing is getting hanging up actually. I have to clear them actually. We have a lot of tabs are there. So we have to clear up actually. Previously, I used to use another software. So recent days it was updated and that was not convenient. That's why I moved to this OneNote application actually. Okay. So first thing actually, guys. So first of all, your data in our real applications is nowadays, it is not available in a single format. Now we are having some years before. As I'm saying now, guys, all this technology change has been came as what I see here is from the last 15 years actually, guys. So before 15 years, you can say older days means don't think that it is 1950s and 1970s or somewhere. So past days means it is just hardly it is going to be 15-20 years back actually, guys. You can just compare with 15-20 years back. So in 15-20 years back, your data used to be in very few types of systems. Like sometimes they may be available in flat files. That means normal text files actually. Your data used to be there in flat files, or it may be maximum, it may be in Excel sheets, or maximum it is maybe a database systems. Just a 3 or 4 different type of systems only we used to maintain. But in the last particular from few years of time, we are having a multiple types of storages as came. Multiple types of storages. Now flat files, Excel sheet, databases, there are legacy systems actually. They are old systems. Nowadays, a lot of new formats has been came actually. So many new formats, so many new types of storages has been came. Like nowadays, most frequently we are using, which is going to be a JSON files. Sometimes your data maybe comes in a JSON file, or sometimes it maybe comes in a Parquet file actually. So many formats are there, not only 1 or 2 formats. If you look into them, hundreds of formats are there. Or sometimes it is going to be nowadays, a lot of cloud storages are coming actually. A lot of cloud storages actually. So like AWS, Google, the Microsoft Azure or a Google Cloud Platform, they're giving a lot of different types of cloud storages are coming actually. Not only this, there are so many other type of systems as came. Like we are having some kind of an SaaS data are coming, or it is going to be SPSS. So much data is going to be there. It is going to be something called as an stata, etc., etc. If you go on writing, you can see a lot of other options are going to be there. So nowadays, the data is not just coming in a flat file or an Excel sheet or a database systems. So many different types of options are there. We'll see them, guys. Later, we'll work on them actually. So the first technique is nothing but how to collect the data. It's a technique actually, guys. I'm not using any technology here now. I'm not using any software. I'm not using any tools, or I'm not using any other things. It is completely programmatically we are going to do that actually. The technique which is used to extract the data from various systems actually. So the first technique which we have to know is how do you extract the data, or simply we are going to say that it is going to be nothing but data loading actually. So how to load the data first of all? So what are the different issues will be there? Data loading means simply don't expect that there is an Excel file will be there, just we'll read the file actually. No, there are different issues will be there. There are different problems will be there. Because nowadays we are having it multiple systems are there. hundreds of systems has came. So we don't know which system is going to follow which kind of a nature of them. That's why, first of all, we have to understand what are the different ways and different types of storages are coming and how to extract the data from that particular storages. That is nothing but first we have to do some data collection or data loading. Correctly speaking, you can say that you have to collect the data actually. Data collection or data loading. Load your data, whatever the data that is there in the file format, first load it into your application. Or just collect all the data in whatever the data that is available in various formats. Just we have to collect the data actually. So after the data was collected, you cannot say that directly I'm going to give it to the machine actually. First of all, whether the data is in a proper format, as I told you, simply if I say that this is the data, machines can't understand it actually. Machines are having some standard format to learn. So there is going to be some kind of an curriculum for that particular machines. If you follow that particular curriculum, then only the machines will learn. Otherwise, machines can't learn. Simply if I give the data to the machines, machine can't study them. You have to give some information to the machine. This is your data. This is the way the format. So machines can't study the data immediately. That's why, first of all, whether the data is going to be in a proper format or not, whether the data is in a proper structure or not, such a way that the machines can understand them. Or is the data is a correct data or not? Because if you give wrong data, machines also learns wrongly. Machines can't detect that you are doing wrong. Whatever the data you given, it will treat it as a valid data, and based on that, it is going to start studying the data actually. That's why, to ensure that whether the data is in a proper format or whether you are giving the correct data to the machine for learning, we have to do some kind of a data analytics. We have to do that. Data analytics means just understanding the data actually. First of all, before the machine starts understanding the data, up to some extent, we have to study the data. Machines will study the data. But before the machine studies the data, we have to just understand the data, whether the data is in a proper structure or not, whether it is available in a valid data or not, or whether it is any invalid data or not. All these things we'll understand whenever we do some kind of a data analytics part. So we have to learn a technique. These are all not going to be technologies, guys. A data analytics. What is going to be data analytics? You are trying to understand how is the data actually. So for so many people, it is going to be some beyond the imagination because it is not a programming language. Programming language means at least you can imagine something. Okay, this is a program, this is a code we have to write. But it's something different from programming languages. So unless and until you start with implementations, you can't understand, you can't get a clear idea about what is the meaning of that. So we do some kind of a mathematical and statistical analysis, which will explain you how the data was there. So why we have to study the data? How is the data? If you study that, if this is the data, then only we can give it to the machine actually. So once if you start studying the data, we'll get a lot of issues will come. Like some kind of an impurity in the data will come. That is what we generally call it as an dirty data actually. Some kind of an impurity will come in the data. We have to clean all of them actually. So the next technique what we are going to learn is, which is going to be nothing but it's a data cleansing. See, all these are going to be related with data only. Data collection, data analytics, data cleansing. We have to do all these are the different techniques what are involved actually. Data analytics, data cleansing. Data cleansing is nothing but we are cleaning the data actually. There is an impurity in the data. There is going to be some kind of a dirtiness in the data actually. We have to clean up. That is what we are going to call it as a tidy data. It is going to be what we call it as, we have some rules are there. If you want, you can just check it out. What are tidy rules? There are some rules which we have to follow to say that our data is going to be tidy. Tidy means nothing but clean data. There sometimes your data is going to be untidy data actually, which is going to be some kind of a messy data or some kind of a dirty data are going to be gets coming. We have to clean up, which is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as tidy rules, or data cleansing, what we are going to call it as. Sometimes, normally sometimes the clients are going to give the data actually. The clients gives the data. So directly he may give the data. So from that you are directly going to collect the data. Sometimes it is required to collect some data externally. it is used to, you have to extra, we have to do some kind of some collect the data, some externally, which may be available in some kind of a websites. Sometimes we have to get some data from the website. There are so many techniques are there actually. Yes. Actually, this also is going to comes under data loading only, but generally data loading, data collection means most of the people thinks that data has to be just collected from a file. It may be a CSV file, or it may be an Excel sheet, or it may be a JSON file, or it may be some other file. No, sometimes it is required to extract the data from some websites, like something like an e-commerce sites, or it is going to be e-commerce sites actually, or sometimes it is going to be from the social media, like which is going to be from Twitter, or it is from a Facebook, or it is going to be from a LinkedIn, something like this. We have to get some kind of a data from the social media data actually. This process is going to be what we are going to call it as a web scraping actually, because we are scraping the data from the websites. This is what we are going to call it as a web scraping technique actually. So what are the main techniques that are involved? It's all technique. We don't use any tool. We don't use any softwares. Everything is going to be done by some kind of coding only. We are going to write it. Coding means don't think that again we have to write a lot of code. No. For that, we have some alternative, which I'm going to tell you about that. So see, it is going to be some kind of data collection, data analytics, data cleansing. We have to do some kind of a web scraping. I'll tell you one example actually, guys. Web scraping is mainly used for sentimental analysis actually. So nowadays, the companies are depending on the sentimental analysis actually. Like for example, a movie review. Like for example, a movie has been got released. So how the reviews was there? So it is going to be movie reviews actually. So no need to just go to each and every person and ask them how is the review is going to be there. So whenever a movie was released, immediately the people are taking the Twitter and they are posting their particular tweets, their comments in the Twitter itself. So we'll collect all that particular tweets from the Twitter, whether it is a positive tweet or whether it is going to be negative tweet actually. Not only this, it's going to anything. Some incident has been happened. People are taking the Twitter to take some comments on that actually. Some war is going on, or some crisis, some economic crisis in Sri Lanka. Some war is going between some Ukraine and this one. So how the people are reacting actually, guys? We do some kind of an collection from the Twitters and we have to get it actually. So how do you collect the data from the Twitter? I want to collect the tweets from the Twitter. So how can you collect it? You need not to do any manual process. Twitter itself is providing some utilities for you. So do you want some tweets from the Twitter? Yes. Directly they are going to give you some kind of utilities. Tell me the subject. Based on the subject, I'm going to filter the data and directly I'm going to give you actually. That is what we are going to call it as. Yes, it's an API based actually. So there are going to be some kind of Twitter APIs will be there. A very interesting topic actually. So all of you know how to open a Twitter account. So we are going to be something, we are going to work with something different actually. This is all of you know that it's a Twitter account. Twitter, Facebook, and what is going to be the LinkedIn, all of you know that actually. All the social media sites is going to be provides you a developer account actually. We have to access a developer accounts. It is going to be a developer.twitter.com. Most of the people does not knows about this. Most of the people does not knows about this. It's a developer platform actually, where we are going to be using a lot of APIs from the Twitter actually. This is a developer account. I don't write any code for this. Just they'll give an API. There will be some keys will be there. Take that particular keys and run your code. Automatically, the tweets automatically they'll come into your application actually. You need not to write any code at all. Same as it is. Facebook will provide. It's a developer.facebook.com. Now it is developer.meta.com now. Hope all of you have an idea about this. It is going to be a developer.meta.com actually. So it is going to be a Facebook developer account actually. Developer dot, I think just a minute once. Developer dot, it is, let us facebook.com. It will change us actually. So it is going to navigate to that. I think still it was there. Okay, still it was there as a developer.facebook.com only. It is Meta for developers, but website is still developers. Which is going to be facebook.com. We also have a lot of applications will be there. Nowadays, after the cloud has been came, all our applications has been become very easy, guys. Even the programmatical part also has been it has been drastically, it has been decreased. Some 15, 20 years back, the people used to suffer a lot. writing a program. They used to buy had the programs, .NET programs, Java programs. Now it has been even development part also has been became a very, very easy and very, very simplified, because almost all for every application we are getting API based. So just call the API. If it is free, you can use it free. Otherwise, pay some money. Somebody written the code, you are using it directly. Same as it is, which is going to be developer dot, which is going to be a linkedin.com actually. It is going to be a linkedin.com. Most of the people does not knows about them actually. So you know what is LinkedIn, but this is developer.linkedin.com actually. Here we have some kind of an apps will be there. You can create some kind of an apps from here now. Ready to create your first app. I can create an app and I can directly work with them. It's a developer accounts actually. Even your Amazon, which is going to be normal amazon.com, we all of you know that, or amazon.in, where it's an e-commerce site actually. But if you want to do some kind of an integration with that, it is going to be nothing but you will be having an account called as, which is going to be developer dot, which is going to be the amazon.com or amazon.in actually. This is going to be a developer account actually. It's an Amazon developer account. All applications will be there. All applications will be there. We have a lot of applications will be there, which we can connect and we can work with that kind of an applications. Like this, everything has been made very, very simplified. So if you want to collect all the information about the laptop prices, so we'll having one API account will be there. Using the API account, we can get it actually. So a technique called as web scraping. So how do you do the web scraping? What are the different resources that are required and how to work with them, etc., etc. We have to understand the techniques actually, guys. To understand the data, that means sometimes your data, when you see the data like a text wise, you cannot understand the data that much easily. That's why we'll put all the data into a visual context actually. One of the main primary skill every data scientist or every data analyst is required actually. Whoever is working on the data nowadays, they require this particular skill. That is nothing but putting the data into a visual format, which is what we are going to call it as a data visualizations. So data visualization means immediately most of the people think that, sir, is it reporting? Is it Power BI or is it going to be some other Tableau? It's not Power BI or it is not Tableau actually, guys. The technique which is basically used to visualize or to put the data into visual context. So because if you see the data visually, more and more understandable is going to be taken place instead of looking at the data. If you look at the data, more space is required, more time we have to spend. Put the data into visual format, easily we can understand it actually. Normally we all of you have an idea about that, which is going to be scatter plots, line plots, histograms, pie charts. It is going to be bar charts. All these are going to be some of the basic the plots what everybody knows about that actually. So scatter, line, pie, bar charts, all these are going to be some of the data visualization, the techniques what we have to do it actually. Sir, for that, what is the tool you are going to learn? We don't learn any tool actually, guys. Everything is going to be by using some open source libraries. Everything is going to be done by open source libraries. So why the programming has become very simplified nowadays? Some years before, the people used to suffer a lot. So they used to put a lot of effort studying that particular programming language. Now what happened actually, a lot of other frameworks has came into the existence. They are saying that you don't need to write any code. For every functionality, we're given a function to you. So just call the function, internally we write the code and directly we are going to run that particular code. A lot of open source libraries are there. So all about open source libraries only, guys. So who is going to do all these things, guys? Who is going to collect the data? Who will do the analytics? Who is going to do the cleansing? Who does the web scraping? Who does the data visualizations? Machines can't do. Machines can't do. All these are going to be done by the user. A user has to do only. Manually, we have to do it actually. A machine learning expert or a deep learning expert has to do all this work actually, guys. Once if you make sure that, yes, this data is ready for learning, then we are going to give that particular data to the machine actually. The machine starts learning. That means nothing but what we are going to call it as training. We are giving some training to the machine actually. That's why this step is going to be what we are going to call it as training the data model actually. So whatever the data is there, that we are going to give it to the machine to make the machine to be gets trained actually. So we call it as a training the data model. This is the where the machine is going to learn actually. This is the step where the machine is going to learn actually. That is the main step where the machine learning takes place. But how the machines are going to learn? As I told you, why the machine learning has been became popular only from the last couple of maybe a half decade, maybe 5-6 years back. One is going to be, I told you, it is going to be a computing power. One is going to be the computing power of the machine actually. Second thing is, once the computing power has been increased, as of now, this scientists, the research people has developed a very, very powerful algorithms they have been got developed actually. Like for example, while we are learning C language, you maybe heard about something called as a sorting algorithm. To make a sorting, normal sorting, you know that. Normal sorting, everybody knows about that. So put the data in ascending order, but how it is done, we know that. Basically, how it is going to be done, we know that actually. So it will start from the first value. Take the value, compare each and every value. Wherever the value is going to be less than that, it will put in temporary variable and put it. Like that, second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step. Like that, how many values are there? For example, if 100 values are there, 100 times the loop is executed actually. So it will be taking a lot of time actually. So for some of the systems actually, guys, sorting is going to be the benchmark. That means whenever anybody has developed a machine, some new kind of a technique, technology, so they will compare only by using the sorting only. How much fast this particular sorting is going to be done. This system is doing in 2 seconds. This system is doing in 5 seconds. Sorting is the one of the benchmark. You know what is meaning of benchmarking actually, guys? So benchmarking is nothing but to measure how efficiently the machine is going to be working or how faster the machine is going to be working. They'll give the sorting only. So taking the sorting into the test, so they are going to conduct some kind of an test on that particular machines, how much time it is taking, 150 seconds, 200 seconds. So it is going to be one of the benchmarking for so many types of systems actually. So as the earlier days, being this computing power is very less, the scientists, they are unable to develop a complicated or a complex algorithms actually. Why the machine learning is popular actually, guys? It is not due to any language called as a Python, or it is not due to any language called as a R. It is the powerfulness of the machine learning algorithms. So while the machine is going to be trained, don't think that machine directly learns from the data actually, guys. How the learning has to be done, how it has to be learned, that is guided by some of the very popular machine learning algorithms actually, guys. So if you see the definition of what is data science, just now I shown you previously. What is data science I shown you? It is going to be all about learning some kind of an algorithms only, guys. Can you see? It is going to be the processing and algorithms actually. So our data science course is all about learning these algorithms only. So which algorithm is used for solving a which kind of a problem? We have some different algorithms are there, guys. A classification algorithms, regression algorithms, clustering algorithms, neural networks, NLP. We are having so many things are going to be there. So many things are there. ANN, CNNs, RNNs. We have a different types of algorithms are there. So our data science course is all about understanding this machine learning algorithms, guys. So my complete specialization, the people, actually guys, learning data science is not a big thing at all. You can learn, as I told you, if you see the lines of code, just 3 to 4 lines of code, we can apply machine learning. But that is not the criteria actually, guys. How the machine learning works, that is, or how an algorithm will works, we have to understand the background behind them. So my specialty actually, guys, I teaches all this. I teaches all these algorithms, how they are going to works, what is the math behind them. Like for example, just a today's class. So morning 7 a.m. we have been started with a recently with a decision tree algorithm. We have been got started actually. We started with a decision tree algorithm. So what is going to be the math behind them? So like this is how the maths is going to be behind them. Everything I'm going to tell you about the maths actually. So don't worry about them actually, guys. So this is going to be some kind of a math behind them. So how a decision tree? So currently the decision tree algorithm, don't worry about that. It is too early to discuss for you. So my main specialty. So why most of the people prefer to join my classes actually, guys. So still, actually, now as of now, we are having maybe some around 10 11 participants are there. Still the people will join, because in my last batches, at least minimum 30 to 40 students will be there in my all my 3 batches right now. Currently I'm handling 3 batches currently. So 8 p.m. batch, we have 40 students are there. Almost all morning 7 a.m. and morning 9:30 a.m. We are 9 a.m. Almost all we are having 30 students are there. People will join because yesterday only we joined, no? So people keep on joining. So why the most of the people prefer to join my classes is mainly my advantage is I am going to explain all these particular maths behind the algorithms. Most of the other trainers, other training courses, they don't teach you the maths behind them. They don't teach you the maths behind them. They simply says that this is an algorithm. So why I am taking a little bit more time, and my course is also some around 4 to 5 months of time. Why I'm going to take this much time actually? So last 2 days I'm explaining the maths behind them. Still not yet over. Still tomorrow 15-20 minutes still class is left over. For one algorithm, I'm going to explain for every algorithm what is the maths behind them, what is the background behind them, how it will works, what is the strengths, what is the weakness. So when to prefer to use them, when not to prefer to use them. So studying about algorithm is all about the data science actually. Data science is all about working with the algorithms only, guys. So mainly in our class, we are going to be learning these algorithms. So now there are going to be a very powerful algorithms has been came actually. So this powerful algorithms, why the powerful algorithms has been came? It is due to the computing power of the system, because all these algorithms internally involves a lot of maths calculations will be there. A lot of mathematical calculations will be there. I require a lot of computing. I requires a lot of computing operations I require actually. So if your machine is not that much computing power, it does not have a computing power. Sometimes actually, guys, your systems will hang up. It's not like a Java program. It's not like a Python program, guys. They'll execute. Sometimes when you go to neural networks, it will take some hours of time to run your application actually. Your systems are not even capable to run those kind of an applications. So right now it is not required, but in future, if we have any plan, so we have to buy a little bit advanced systems. Our systems are only powered with CPUs. But if you want to work with these deep learning applications, we require some kind of an GPUs and TPUs based systems you require actually. What are those? I'll tell you guys. I think you heard about GPUs, gaming. You know that no, guys. Your gaming systems will be there. They will be powered by GPUs. It's a graphical processing units. So developed by NVIDIA or some other companies we are going to be having actually. So they are very powerful and faster than our normal CPUs. It will be costed almost double the price. So normally, if you can buy a basic laptop, you can buy. I'm not talking about any higher configuration. A basic laptop, if you want to buy, approximately some around 30 to 40K if you spend, you can nowadays, you can get a basic laptop, you can get it actually. But if you want to buy a GPU based machine, at least minimum, you have to buy minimum configuration. 60 to 75K, we have to spend it actually. If you want to go for more advanced level, it will be 1.5 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. It is going to be costing you actually, guys. So supercomputers, what are supercomputers actually, guys? They're powered by GPUs and TPUs only, because very, very, very faster than our normal CPUs actually. So computing power and the powerful algorithms actually, guys. These two has been made this particular data science into the reality. The machine learning, deep learning, whatever we are using, it is going to be due to the computing power. Being there is a computing power. So both are related actually. Why earlier we are unable to develop a powerful algorithms? Because your machines are not that much highly computing powers. So once the computing power has been came to the machines, we have been able to develop a powerful algorithms actually. So the powerful machine learning algorithms, we are having so many algorithms are there. So as I already talking about now, so which is going to be decision trees. We are going to be having k nearest neighbors, or we are going to be having a regression models, and mainly for neural networks, which we are going to see as part of the deep learning. It's going to be nothing but a neural networks actually. A neural networks requires a very powerful systems. If you try to run a very, very long neural network, you have to require a very highly computing system is going to be required. Sir, I can't spend the money. Then what we have to do? No worry. Nowadays, as I told you, cloud is the rescue for you. So cloud is providing all these particular GPUs and TPUs. You pay some money, no need to buy a machine. Directly, you can enjoy the powerfulness of GPUs and TPUs directly. Google is providing. Google is providing, which is going to be a GPU and a CPU systems, GPU and TPU based environment that are providing. Later we'll work on them, guys. So if you observe carefully, this is the only step which the machine is going to do, guys. Remaining all the work has to be done by ourselves only. Remaining all the steps is going to be done by ourselves only. Even machine learning, even the machine learns means directly the machine can't learn by itself. For that also, we have to guide with the help of some kind of an algorithms. We are going to choose which kind of an algorithm we have to choose. So what are the main parameters to handle it? How to handle that particular algorithm, how to handle the data. All these things we are going to guide to the machine. The machine is going to study the data actually. And, and once it is going to be, so which is going to be nothing but once the machine has been learned, whatever it has been learned, I told you it is going to be comes in an insight format. That insight is going to be nothing but what we are going to call it as an ML model. Machine is going to create a machine learning model is going to be created actually, a machine learning model. Once it is trained, a machine learning model will come actually, guys. It will come like an object only. Later we discuss about that. So, okay. But the thing is, once the machine has been learned, how effectively it has been got learned, how much extent that learning is going to be working fine, or how much errors it is doing, how much accuracy. That means whatever it has been learned, whether it is correct or not. So that is what we have to evaluate once again. Machine learns, but whether it learned correctly or not, we have to evaluate actually. Like just like our school days. In our classroom, we went to the school. In our school days, in our classroom, the teachers are going to train us. We are going to learn, teachers will train. So to evaluate how much extent we have been learned, or how much extent the training has been helpful, so the teachers are going to conduct some kind of an examination to us. So the examination is nothing but it is your evaluation. So how much extent you learn, how much efficiently we are able to implement the concepts you learn. That is what we are going to call it as evaluation of the performance actually. That is what we call it as evaluation of model performance. This is what we call it as evaluation of model performance. It is a kind of nothing but testing the model actually, guys. Generally, that is nothing but what I'm going to call it as testing. Who is going to do that? Again, manually, we have to do it actually. Machine only learns based on the data. If you just give all the things, so don't think that machine is going to be like nowadays, we are getting some kind of an in restaurants also. So without having any chefs, we do not require any manually preparing the food. In preparation of the foods also, the robotics are coming actually. The robots are coming. But the robots cannot directly prepare the food. Already they have been trained. So if I give this particular food, if this particular menu, using this menu, you can prepare this kind of a food. If this is going to be the ingredients, so this is going to be the food what I have to prepare. So there is some learning. They already learn it actually. So when to use this ingredient, when to use this particular ingredient. So depending on that. So if the customer asks, so I require which is going to be more spicy. So which kind of ingredient has to be increased? Which case of ingredient has to be decreased? The machines has to be trained. Otherwise, the machines can't prepare them actually. Every time it prepares the same item with the same ingredients and with the same taste and with the same recipe, it is going to do that actually. So the machines are going to be get trained. So how effectively they have been got learned. So we have to evaluate that particular model actually. That is what we are going to call it as evaluation of model performance, which is nothing but we are going to test that particular ML models. And finally, it is going to be nothing but if it is possible, like 90% it is doing correctly. So I instructed the machine. So can you prepare this item? So 90%, 90 cases it is doing correctly, but in 10 cases it is going wrong actually. So how do you improve the performance? So it is going to be nothing but improving of model performance. Not only these guys, there are so many other things are also going to be there. Improving of model performance actually. So it is giving only 80% accuracy. It is working correctly up to 80% scenarios. It is working correctly. But beyond that, how to increase? There are some techniques are going to be there. And finally, we are going to be doing a deployment actually. Nowadays, deployment also has become very easy once the cloud has been came. So once the cloud has been came, easily we are able to deploy them actually. Nowadays, deployment has become very, very easy. And now there is no preference for the deployment also because it's become very easy for us. So look at this, guys. These are the 9 steps we have to perform that. But 9 step means not every step is mandatory. Web scraping is not required always. Web scraping is not required always, but remaining 8 steps is going to be mandatory, guys. Whatever may be the task that was given to you, first you have to collect the relevant data, analyze the data. If it requires, clean the data, do some data visualization to understand the data more and more about that. Then we have to do the training the data model where the machine is going to learn. Then evaluate the model performance, improve the model performance, and then deploy the model performance. Out of these 8 or 9 steps, only one step is going to be done by the machine. But that is the most complicated step actually, guys. That is the most complicated steps. So when you implement all this manually, if you implement manually actually, guys, if a statistician want to do all these analytics by themselves, in a project time, 80% of the time is going to be spent for this understanding the data actually. For learning from the data, it is 80% of the project time. Remaining is only 20%. Steps are more, but time taken is going to be only 20% only. So the main time consuming is going to be 80% of the time that is going to be spent for this particular training the data model. If you do it manually, guys. Now this has been given to the machine. Now the preference, that means how much time this is taking, it has been drastically, it has been got dropped now. Drastically, very drastically, it has been dropped actually. In earlier cases, it used to be take some around 3 months of time. You can do it by within just a 3 days of time. Training is sufficient. Not even 3 days, 3 hours is sufficient actually. That much drastic decrease has been taken place actually. Faster and more accurately than humans. Humans are going to be time consuming. Second thing is going to be not that much higher performance. But machines has been, once the man has been replaced by the machines, once the humans has been got replaced by the machines, so we are able to do it very faster and more accurately, which is going to be more faster and more accurately than the humans actually. So that is a main important step actually, guys. Even if it is doing only one step, really if I do it manually, 80% of your project time will be taken by that one only. Now that has been given to the machine. So machine is going to be taking care about that. The machine is going to be taking care about that. So the machine is going to be starting learning from the data. So where that drastically the project time has been decreased and accuracy also has been drastically, it has been got increased. Exponentially, it has been increased. But all this has been happened due to the main two important things, computing power and the powerful machine learning algorithms has been developed. So many powerful machine learning algorithms, as I told you, decision tree, KNN, regressions, SVM, so many are there, guys. SVMs, we are going to be having some Navi base. When you talk about them, so many different types of algorithms are coming. Neural networks, very popular one is going to be neural networks actually, guys. You really enjoy. Neural networks is part of deep learning. So these are some of the technical aspects what we have to learn actually, guys. These are all the techniques which we have to learn. So what are the different techniques that are used for data analytics? Some statistical techniques are there. What are the different data cleansing methods? What are the different data visualization techniques? So training the data model, what are the different types of machine learning models? How to evaluate the model performance? There are some different techniques are there. How to improve the model performance? There are going to be different techniques are there. Deployment is obviously the deployment concept. So to do this, sir, what language we have to use? As I told you, it is only the conceptual base, the technique what we have to learn. So how to implement all these techniques? Sir, do we want to do some data loading? How to do that? Shall I use any tool? Shall I use any software? Data analytics, data cleansing, not required, guys. So here, the main advantage is there is one language called as Python. There is a language called as a Python, which is providing you all the utilities to perform all these operations. Like, do you want to do the data loading? Yes, we have given some utility for that. Utility is nothing but, guys, a function has been given to us. Using the function, you can directly load the data. Just if you want, I'll just show you guys. I'll just show you one small example. I have a small data with us, guys. Just an example. You don't worry about how I'm doing that. I have a small data with us, guys. A very small data only. I'm going to take it actually. A very small data set. So this is my small data set actually, guys, which is going to be some data related to cars data set. Used cars data set, like what is the year of manufacturing, what is the price, how many miles it has been got used, what type of transmission the car was there, what is the color of the car, what is the mileage, what is the model of the car, which is the year of manufacturing. This is the data I want to, let us say that I want to make my machine to study how the price, so how the price was there, how the price was changing according to the model or according to the year, according to the mileage. As the mileage increases, as the more miles are used, the less price is going to be there. So it is going to be the model higher the models, the higher the prices actually. Something we want to understand how this data was related, give it to the machine. But if you want to give it to the machine, first of all, we have to import the data actually, guys. Don't worry. I just want to show you some applications actually. Don't worry, don't worry. So Python saying that whatever the main, here the powerfulness is not the power, the main powerfulness is not the powerfulness of the Python language. Python is only just giving some utilities to perform all that particular operations actually. Python is going to be providing all that particular operations actually. Yes, Amanraj, I'm signing off. Okay, no problem. You can just leave it. So Python is saying that for every functionality, I'll talk about what is the introductory part of Python later. Python is used anywhere actually, guys. Even nowadays, mathematicians, statisticians are also using them. So don't worry about them. I just do see, guys, how simple the coding is going to be there. So if anybody having some experience in programming, observe the difference between writing a Java program or writing a C program or writing a .NET program and writing a Python code actually, guys. It's not Python program. It's just a Python code. Import pandas as PD. Pandas is a library actually, guys. It's a package which provides you a bunch of utilities to you. Or we can say that it is going to be a bunch of utilities, a bunch of functions are going to be given. A bouquet of, it's not just a small bunch, a bouquet will be given, a huge bouquet, a collection of lot of functions will be given. Now using this, I can read the data actually, guys. See how simple it is going to be. There is a function called as read CSV actually, guys. From where we have to read the data. From user cars.csv file, I am going to read the data and I'm putting into a variable called as a cars variable actually. Over, that's it. The data, it has been read from the file and kept it into a variable or an object called as a cars. Do you want to see the data? I just don't want to see the total data. Just there are some methods are there actually. It's an object oriented style of programming. It's an object oriented style of programming actually. Cars.head, the first 5 sample records, it is going to tell you actually, guys. So here the powerfulness is nothing but it's not the powerfulness of Python. It's the powerfulness of this particular library called as pandas. Pandas was developed by Python only. The pandas is a library or it is a package which was developed with help of Python only. Using Python only that came into the reality. The powerfulness is not Python here now. The powerfulness is the pandas. So I want to do some kind of an visualization of this data actually. So just a small data. So in each and every model, how many cars are there? Just an example. Cars dot, which is going to be nothing but model. Don't worry about them, guys. It is going to be, see how simple it is going to be. That is what I just want to tell you. So in SC models, we are having 78 cars are there. In SES models, we have 49 cars are there. In SEL model, we are having 23 cars are going to be there. Sir, I don't want this data. I want to get all this data in a visual format. I want to get it actually. For that, we have another library is there. So it's not the, that's for what I'm saying actually, guys. It's not the powerfulness of which is going to be the Python. It is the powerfulness of the libraries what we are going to be using in Python. This is contributed by various communities. There I used pandas. Here I'm going to be using matplotlib actually. Don't worry about that. Just simply see how simple it is going to be there. It is going to be nothing but plot dot, which is going to be nothing but bar. Over. That's it. It is going to visualize you some kind of a bar it is going to give you actually. Don't worry. I am just showing the bar actually, how simple the bar is going to be there, which we can see this actually. See how simple I have been got done. No coding, not that much coding actually, guys. Cars.model.value counts. Count how many values are there in each and every model and just visualize in a bar format actually. That's it. It is going to be SC model. These many cars we have. SES model. These many cars we have. SEL model. These many cars we have it actually. That's it. Over. It's a simple and very easy application what we are going to be doing this actually. A very simple and very easy which we can work with that kind of an applications. So whatever the colors, everything you can adjust it actually. Whatever the colors, whatever that particular sizes, whatever the bar sizes you require, all these things are customizable. No need of writing a single line of code. Everything is a function. It's a function actually. Bar is a function. The value underscore counts is a function like this. Everything is going to be done by like this only. So here it's not the powerfulness of Python, but Python is saying that we are giving you all the functionalities, whatever that is required for implementing all these applications. So why we prefer to use learn Python, because is Python provides you the functionalities for data loading. Just now I shown, I done the data loading, I done the data visualizations. If you want, you can do the data analysis, you can do the data cleansing, you can do the web scraping. Yes, you can do the training the data models. We can do the machine learning applications. For machine learning, one separate library will be there. For reading the data, it is pandas. Do you want to visualize the data? It's a matplotlib. Do you want to work with the machine learning applications? sklearn, scikit-learn, what we call it as. So evaluation of model, improving model performance, deployment, all these are going to be done by directly with the help of a Python. No other language is required. No other utilities are required. Everything end to end we can go on to do by using Python. And one more competitor for Python is going to be in another language called as an R. But R is going to be having some limitations. Compare with the Python, R is going to be having a kind of a small limitations will be there. So that's why R is not that much, it is not that much vastly it is going to be used actually, but mostly it is going to be used is, which is going to be Python is going to be mostly preferable. Almost 80 to 90% of the people who works in the data science field will prefer to work with the Python. And only some around 10-15% of the people, they prefer to go for the R language. So which language we are going to learn? So as part of our course curriculum, we are going to start with the Python. That's why we are going to start our course curriculum not directly with the data science or not with some other thing. We are going to start with the basics of Python. Basics of Python means, again, I'm not going to start from starting from directly from Python, the basics of Python, and I'm not going to start it from like 2 months, 3 months. You are not going to be studying about that. As a data scientist or as a machine learning expert, up to what extent you require the Python? It will be hardly some around 12 to 14 sessions it will take. Hardly 2 weeks, we are going to learn the Python. Then we jump directly into the prerequisites, whatever that is going to be required in our data science course. So machine learning will take some time. It's not immediately within 4 or 5 days, we don't start with that. As I told, pandas is important. So before doing this, data visualization, we have to learn. Web scraping, it's not important as of now. Later also we can learn. All these first techniques, how to import the data, how to do the analytics, how to clean the data, how to do the data visualizations. These are all the prerequisites for our machine learning concepts. So it will take hardly 1.5 months it will take to complete all the prerequisites. And then after 1.5 months, then we'll start with the machine learning. Remaining, all of them are going to be prerequisites. NumPy, pandas, matplotlib, all these are going to be the prerequisites for the data science actually. Without knowing them, we cannot go for the machine learning applications. Okay. So yesterday I just only told about what is machine learning, how the machine is going to do. Simply take the data, understand the data, give the insights, do the prediction. It looks like a very simple process, but when it comes to the practical, it's not like that. Coming to the practical, it is not going to be like that. We have to collect the data. We have to analyze the data. We have to cleanse the data. Sometimes if it is required, we have to do some kind of a web scraping. We have to do some kind of a data visualizations, training the data models. All these are going to be done by ourselves. The only one step which machines will do is machine is going to learn from the data. Provided if you provide a valid data and in a valid format and proper format, machines also learn very properly. If you don't give a valid data, if you don't give a valid formats, machines may not learn, or machines may learn, but they don't learn it properly also. That's why how much extent they have been learned to evaluate this, we have to do some kind of an evaluation of model performance. And after that, improving of model performance, and then we have to do the deployment actually, guys. Okay. So this is my second introductory part, just an introductory part of the data science. All these things we are going to once again, when our main classes starts with machine learning, before that, again, I'm going to discuss in depth about this, all these topics actually, guys. All these topics will be discussed once again. Before we started the actual machine learning classes, again, we have the same discussion in depth about them, not just it's a brief introduction only, but there we are going to be having an in-depth introductory part about that particular ones. Okay. So that's it for the today's class, guys. So again, the same thing. If you have any questions, So I'm going to take up the questions. As I told you now, guys, please attend 3 to 4 classes. You will get some idea about what we are going to be learning as part of our course. Okay. So right, guys. Anybody, guys, any questions? Yesterday also no questions has been came.
Yeah. So
Yes.
one question, sir.
Yes.
So we write some. I heard the data scientists need to write some algorithms. So in real time, what are the use cases, or how frequent is that? Like we need to write some algorithms other than using the utilities
Existing.
provided by
Yeah. Fine. Yeah, I got it. So the basic thing is, yes, absolutely. Whatever you are saying is going to be the point is correct. But what I am saying here is, yes, who is going to generally create this? That means who is going to generally create this particular algorithms? Yes, absolutely. It is going to be by a data scientist. A data scientist is going to develop this actually. But coming to this particular data scientist, he will create an algorithm. But most of the cases, what we are going to do is, but really, if you want to create an algorithm, you have to do a lot of research on that. So generally, who generally creates is who is doing a research, like PhD candidates will be there. Those do a lot of research on that, and then they will come up with an algorithm actually. But as part of our industry usage, that means that is going to be the research part. So when you go to the research part, then that is going to be there. But who is going to be working there? All these particular PhDs, the research people, those people are going to be working with them. On the other side, we are going to be implementing these particular algorithms, like industry usage, if we talk about them. So whenever we talk about the industry usage, for example, there is a bank is there. So the bank does not say that you please develop an which is going to be an algorithm to get to predict whether he is a defaulter or non-defaulter, because that will take a lot of research. It takes a lot of time, and a lot of research people are going to be required there. That's why what the bank says that I don't bother about which algorithm you use. So already these algorithms are already developed, and day to day there are so many new algorithms are also going to be coming. So many new algorithms day to day, within a few days only, a lot of new algorithms are going to be coming actually. So the other side is going to be nothing but how to use them. Basically, the usage of the algorithms actually. So using some algorithms, we are going to be making some kind of a predictive models. Generally, who is going to develop this one is who is having some more than 15-20 years of experience, who are going to be the research people who are into the PhD. Those people are going to develop that particular algorithms. Mathematician, it's not done only by a single person. Mathematicians, statisticians, domain experts, so many people are going to be involved in that, which the research organizations are going to done. But whereas on the other side, as part of our requirement, like we are computer science engineering, or we are going to be some kind of an engineering people. So in our job, our role is not to develop a machine learning algorithm. We want to use a machine learning algorithm, and we have to develop an ML models. So as part of industry requirement, we have to know how to use that particular algorithms. There are some algorithms are there. Using the algorithms, how we are going to solve a problem. In the case, if the existing algorithms are unable to solve your problem, then we have to go for development of that. But as I told you, that is going to be the research organizations are going to do. There are so many top level research organizations will be there. Those people are going to be taking care about how to develop that particular algorithms. But as of our requirement, development of algorithms is not required, but understanding the algorithm and controlling of existing algorithms is going to be required. So here we are going to learn how to use the algorithms and how to control the algorithms, how to handle that particular algorithms only we are going to be learning. Mostly the industry usage is going to be like that only. Whereas the research applications are going to be like that. They don't want to use existing algorithms. They want to develop a new algorithms. Okay, fine guys. Yeah. Now, after the demos are over, what are the timings of the course? Yes, Lakshmi, this is our demo timing, and class timing is going to be the same only. We don't take any separate time. It is going to be from 6 p.m. to which is going to be 7:30 p.m. This is going to be your class timing. So even demos are also same time, even regular classes is also the same time only, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Initial classes, no, I'm just starting by 6:15, 6:10 I'll start it. After that, once the regular classes will start, 6:10 will start the class. Already 7:30, 7:35 is the class timing actually. Yeah. To Yogesh Patil, 2017 passed mechanical engineer. Yes, absolutely. There is no requirement like you have to know about a programming language. As I told you, all these are only understanding about some techniques only. The people who are interested to work with the data, the only prerequisite is you should be having some interest with the data, actually handling the data, because everybody is not interested to work with the data. So if you're having an interest to work with the data, if you're having some interest to skew the data, actually, that is the only prerequisite to learn it. No programming skills are required, because all of them are going to be simple techniques only, which we are going to learn. Whatever the 10+2 standard, our standard of data science is going to be just a 10+2 standard maths is going to be required. If you are just comes from a mathematical background, learning this data science is very, very easy actually. As even mechanical engineers, for example, you have some machines data will be there. So in our your production, everybody is learning. Data science is not only as a part of computer science engineering. As I told you, in a mechanical engineer, for example, in a production plant is there. So how the plant maintenance is going to take place, whatever the data is there, understand the data. Based on that, when the next predictive maintenance is required, it is going to be predicted by the machine actually. So when the next maintenance has to take in place, from the past history, it will study. Okay, this is the next 1 month, you have to require this. Or if this is a usage, so you have to do that particular maintenance after 3 months of time. It is wherever there is a data is there, guys, you can have this particular data science implementation. Chemical engineering, airlines, everywhere we are going to be having medical sciences. So research organizations, everywhere, wherever there is a data is there, you can have this kind of a data science course. Okay, fine, guys. So that's it for the today's class, guys. So anybody, guys, any more questions? If you have any questions, we'll discuss for a time being, and then we'll continue the tomorrow's class. Fine, guys. I think nobody is there with any questions. Just for today, we'll end up the session here, guys. And tomorrow we'll connect at the same time, same link, which is at 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. You will be having the next discussion of the class, guys. Yeah, 4 to 5 months it will take actually, guys, because you've seen that day by day, lot of new things are coming. We say generally 4 months, but hardly 4 to 5 months it is going to take it actually, guys. Okay. Fine, guys. So that's it for the today's class, guys. So we'll end up for today and we'll meet up in the tomorrow's class. Thank you all of you guys. Have a nice day.